All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again. We're back again live. Oh, it's been difficult. It's been difficult. I can't even lie. It's been difficult since the Real Madrid game. I don't know exactly how I feel. Some parts of me is angry. Some parts of me is frustrated. It's a confusing state because, I don't think any of us expected to concede 7 goals at home back to back. And here we are. We're now looking at the match against Southampton, and it's a must-win. This is what the title is. I was thinking about what am I gonna title this preview, and the title is as simple as it is, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea must beat Southampton, because anything else for me, I feel like it could lead to a bit of a disaster. Yes, once again, Thomas Tuchel in the press conference, well-spoken. His demeanor was very calm and collected. He seemed very smiley. But deep down, the man is also confused and also a bit worried that what has happened? What has happened, ladies and gentlemen, since the international break? Yes, before the international break, we were probably not that great in terms of attack. We always had attacking issues. Our attackers never did well this particular season. But at least defensively, ladies and gentlemen, we've been fine. And I think Thomas Tuchel, he's probably very, very bemused by the whole situation as well. And it's our performance against Brentford and Real Madrid both. We seemed nervous. We seemed scared. We seemed at times lazy and lethargic. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because what has triggered that? What really has triggered that? So we're going to talk about all of this. We're going to try and make some sense about all of these things. And obviously we're going to do the predicted lineup. And we're going to see if there is a deeper issue, underlining issue. Obviously there's the Chelsea takeover bid. We thought we were going to get to know by 11th April or 14th April, something like that. And now it's been apparently stretched out for another week. And there's some words that it could take up till end of May to have the sale completely finished. We needed this situation to be well and truly over. And the fact that it isn't over yet is a concern. Before we get into everything, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. 30 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button. Number one, let's get those likes up to 30 immediately. Straight away, let's get those likes up. The likes are so important to the growth of the channel. The algorithm, the bad boys, algorithm boys out there, they love the likes, ladies and gentlemen. So let's smash the likes. If you enjoy the content here, if you love coming here, speaking your mind, interacting, not just with me, but with the live chat, make sure you smash the like button. We are going to take some of your comments today. We're going to have a very good conversation, and we're going to try and make sense of a lot of things. There's going to be some deep conversations today. Ishan will join us within the next 10 to 15 minutes, so don't worry about that. We've got a lot to talk about until then. Fraser, thank you so much for joining. Lennox, thank you so much for joining. CFC Stephen, good to see you. Jeff Knightley, good to see you. Corey Rotier, good to see you. E-Rock, Deals. We've got Manstrike, good to see you. Abdi, good to see you as well. Ancelotti outplayed Tuchel. I'm not really sure whether he outplayed Tuchel. I think the players really didn't give Thomas Tuchel a chance. Tactically, I don't think we were outplayed. It was just one team didn't want to press, didn't want to stay tight, didn't want to be aggressive in tackle. And the other team, they exploited that situation. You know, when you let Modric roam around the way he did, or let Toni Kroos roam around the way he did, I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable. Shubra, good to see you. Hello, Miz. We'll catch up the preview later. No problems on my end. Corey wrote here, Miz, you are a legend. Thank you so much, my man. Moose, thank you so much. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak to each and every one of you guys who are fasting. It's a blessed month of Ramadan. Hope you guys are all doing well. Jeff Knightley, the coin community. Yes, the coin gang, the coin community, we're here. Shafkat, good to see you. Sukamoto, good to see you. Lennox, good to see you as well. Taha Karim, good to see you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 50 of you guys are live. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up to 50 straight away. Amber, good to see you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off here. What has happened? Because looking at Thomas Tuchel's press conference, one of the things that he said, ladies and gentlemen, is that the outside off-field issues that we have in terms of the Chelsea takeover bid, sanctions, all the nonsense that's going on. Thomas Tuchel said, to be honest, nothing has changed for us as a manager or as players. The training facility is still the same. Players are getting fed. Players are getting their money. Nothing has really changed from that perspective. Yes, there is the sanctions. Yes, there is a Chelsea takeover situation happening. But individually, these players, nothing has really changed for them. Thomas Tuchel kind of gave a vibe that they shouldn't use that excuse to say that this is why they've been performing bad the last couple of games. That should not be the excuse. And when I think about that as well, maybe Thomas Tuchel's right. Like, what is there at the moment that is stopping the players at least doing their fundamentals? You look at the performance against Brentford. Why are we getting physically outplayed by Brentford? Why are we not closer and you know, making aggressive challenges against Real Madrid? These same players played last season as well. Like, we can't be sitting here and saying, oh, it's the players, they're not good enough. This same batch of players won the Champions League, goddammit. So I want to hear from you guys, because I don't know about you guys. Did you guys actually expect, coming off the international break, this is the predicament that we're going to be in? Did you guys actually expect that? Because I didn't expect this. I knew Brentford wasn't going to be easy. I knew that. But I didn't expect a 4-1 thumping. I knew Real Madrid wasn't going to be easy. But I expected a good reaction off the back of that loss against Brentford. So what is it? What is it? Let me just quickly read out a couple of these super chat. Valen, thank you so much, my man, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Matt Law is still saying Todd is leading. We'll talk about the takeover bid very, very soon. It's good to hear that Todd is leading, and I hope he wins that. I don't know, because the Ricketts are running mad, and we all know inside Chelsea, Bruce Buck, the Rain Group, they all won Ricketts. So yeah, I get Matt Law saying that Todd Bowley is the favorites, but under what perception? Under what perception are they favorites? Like, Ricketts have more money. I know Todd Bowley, they've just got themselves apparently another new investor, which is the LA Dodgers' primary shareholder. But I don't know whether they are, in terms of wealth, they match Griffin or the Rock Entertainment Group combined. Fraser's saying Todd got more money. Look, fair enough. Look, I want Todd Bowley. I really do. But I'm not going to sit here and hide the fact that the world wants Ricketts to win. Like inside, a lot of people wants Ricketts to win. I can't hide that. The Rain Group is close to the Ricketts. Bruce Buck literally wants the Ricketts to win. I can't sit here and say, yeah, everyone wants Todd Bowley to win. We maybe want Todd Bowley to win, but there's a strong propaganda for Ricketts to win. Until someone can convince me that's not the case, then it is what it is. Valen, thank you once again for the super chat. Miz, I feel that what's happening is similar to Liverpool last season, where they fell off and slowly rescued this season at the end. I mean, fair enough. But the way we are crumbling at the moment, loss against Brentford, we need to start picking up wins. Southampton, we have to get a win because we don't want to get into this top 4 race conundrum. We really don't want to get into this top 4 race conundrum. We cannot entertain teams like Arsenal, Tottenham to have a sniff at possibly taking over us. And our injuries are not really similar to Liverpool's at the moment. Yeah, we've got some big injuries in terms of Ben Chilwell, I get that. But most of our players are fine. I know today in the press conference, Thomas Tuchel said Romelu Lukaku and Ziyech are doubtful for this particular match because they've picked up a couple of injuries. Romelu Lukaku, Achilles. I'm not really sure for Ziyech, but there is a niggly injury there. But even without Romelu Lukaku and Ziyech, there's enough quality. There's still enough quality to win this. So I can't completely say that it's a Liverpool kind of scenario because Liverpool last season, they didn't have a defense. Their new defenders that they brought in terms of Kabak and whatnot, even they got injured. So not only their frontliners got injured, then they got injured with the new defenders they brought in. So look, I personally, I actually thought initially it was maybe the off-field drama that's causing the disruption, that's causing the confusion for the players. But what Thomas Tuchel said in the press conference kind of made me think maybe not, because he's saying that, look, it's nothing that's within our control. So why should the players? Nothing has changed for the players. Whatever it is, ladies and gentlemen, they need to snap out. They need to snap out. I still think, ladies and gentlemen, we have a team capable, or not just beating Southampton. Of course, we have a team capable of beating Southampton, and no disrespect to Southampton, but have a belief that we have a team to still beat Real Madrid. I personally, no disrespect to Real Madrid, but I don't treat Real Madrid as the cities, the Bayern Munichs, the Liverpools of this particular world. I still believe if we just snap out, we just need to snap out of this BS mentality that we're in at the moment. Some of the key things that we do in matches, fundamental things, we press as a unit. We outrun opposition, energy. Of course, we're not the most creative team out there. We're not. We're not the most creative team out there. But at least we work our backsides off. Last two games, we didn't even work our backsides off. So when you're not creative and then on top of that, you don't do what you are meant to be good at, which is work rate, then it's finished. Then it's absolutely finished. Um, Digital film reviews, thank you for this comment. I think the difference this year compared to last is the midfield. Our midfield had been poor for a while. This is a good point. This is a good point. Our midfield is probably a key area where a lot of the issues start happening. I have to agree. Because there doesn't seem to be the right balance in midfield. There doesn't seem to be the right characteristics in midfield. We always seem to need another different characteristic in the midfield. Whether it's Kante, Jorginho, whether it's Jorginho, Kovacic, whether it's Kante, Kovacic, there seems to be something always missing. They're good at many things, but they're not a total package. None of those combination, Kante, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, Kovacic, none of those combination is a full package. They all seem to have certain things lacking, and that then creates issues, because then we need other players to fill into midfield. Then we need our wing backs coming into midfield and helping them out. Look at the way Brentford, they ripped through our midfield like it didn't even exist. But then we had Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who probably shouldn't have. Ruben Loftus-Cheek should not be playing as the deepest midfielder. Ruben Loftus-Cheek should not be playing as a register. Our double pivot is definitely a concern. I mean, what do we do? Do we go instead of double pivot? Do we go 3-man midfield, and then maybe just have 2 up front? But then our wing backs, they're not quality enough to help out. Yes, Reece James is, no doubt about that. But one particular player, Reece James, is not going to be enough. You do need the left side too, because you can't just have 2 attackers up front to do all the damage. You need the wing backs, so that's 4, and then you need one of the midfielders to come in as well. You need at least minimum 5, sometimes even 6. Have a look at the way City and Liverpool operate. Sometimes they have 6 attackers. Valen, thank you so much for the super chat. This squad can beat Man City in one game and lose to Brentford in another. That mentality issue has been a major issue since Conte. It's mad. It's mad how it's been like that for a little while. How do we snap out of this? How do we snap out of this mentality thing? Why can't we be hungry like the Liverpools, like the Cities? 10, 12, 15 wins in a row. Why? Why not? Faisal, I love Faisal. Faisal, you must be, honestly, you must be a troll, man. You really must be. I love these sort of comments, honestly. There are a few in this community, and majority of you guys are fantastic, but there are a few in this community. I don't know whether they know the sense of commenting, whether they know the sense of communicating. Look at this comment, ladies and gentlemen. Miz, come on, man, stop overreacting. Have I been overreacting? Does it look like I'm overreacting? It's not all doom and gloom. If Mendy doesn't make the mistake, I believe we come back and win 3-2. Back the team. Didn't I just say I believe we can win against Real Madrid? Didn't I just literally say that? Didn't I just literally say I still believe our team is good enough to beat Real Madrid? Faisal, honestly, you must have just rocked up a moment ago. Ishan, my man, how you doing?
Well, apart from Chelsea's current status and my sore throat, I'm doing good.
My man, you got to take care of your health, bro. You're getting a
Yeah.
bit sick, which is not good. Hope you're doing all right. Um, Ishan, I want to ask you, bro, because I was just talking since the international break, before the international break. Yeah, we haven't attacked well. We've never attacked well this particular season, to be honest, for a consistent amount of time. Yeah, maybe a couple of games here and there we attacked well, but for a consistent amount of time, we haven't attacked well. But one thing, Ishan, that we have been doing very well since Thomas Tuchel took us over is we've been defending well. But since the international break finished, 7 goals we've conceded in 2 home games at Stamford Bridge to Brentford and Real Madrid. And it looks like we're not pressing as a unit, we're not tight on players, we're not closing down passing lanes, we're just not focused. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts, bro?
Yeah, and now it's like the strength that we had for so long since Thomas Tuchel took over as a Chelsea manager. The strength that we were building upon, which was the defense, when this strength is looking like it's falling out, it seems like we are one of the worst teams in the league. It seems like that
Yeah,
because we've got nothing to offer. You know, now we won the whole Champions League on the basis of our strong defense. You
correct,
know,
correct.
now we're in top three at one point of time till November, and I quote till November ending, until before we started the December month till November ending, we were at number one position. We were at the top of the league. After that, it fell down. Regardless, it was that because of our strong defense. Do you know what I mean? Now it has derailed somewhat, just like exactly you said after the international break. It seems like that is starting to fall out. It seems like Christensen is moving mad. He's moving at some different tangent. Rudiger starting to make mistakes, some
Rudiger's starting
basics.
to make mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Thiago Silva's losing command on
Yep.
his partners.
Yeah.
The thing that which we relied on him to, actually bind both the defensive partners and make a strong core of defense. He's losing that. These were the strengths of our team, not just of
Yeah.
our defense, but the whole team. We're losing that, and when once we're losing that, we are losing matches not because we're not scoring goals. We were never scoring goals before. It was just one few patches of games
Yep.
where it felt like
It
we were
wasn't like we
scoring
kept on
goals.
banging goals like City and Liverpool. We never did that. Just a few games
Exactly,
here and there.
right? Just few games here and there where Chilwell and Reece James was moving mad. We were on full swing. Maybe again games against Norwich, games against Leicester, the first tie. Juventus as well. Those games it looked like we were on top of the world because these games were such games where we were actually attacking with the help of Chilwell, Reece James, and the other attackers. Mason Mount was playing well at that point of time. But the most important thing is our defense was rigid, and that's why we did not concede. Once we have our defense rigid, it's easy for us to go and attack, get some goals, and then sit back and relax. Now, when the defense has rattled, we never attack. And
Yeah.
the question that before we were asking is that I don't know. We were always in this conversation during our watch alongs is we don't know how is Chelsea gonna score the next goal.
Yeah.
We might not concede, but we
It's a
don't know
lottery.
how Chelsea
It's
is gonna
like
score the next.
it's an act of randomness if we score. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, right? You never know how we're going to score. We don't have a
Yeah.
way of scoring, right? We don't have an idea, a proper ideology how we're going to score a goal. But we knew somewhere down the line that we're not going to concede.
Yeah.
Now, we're conceding left, right, and center. Now we're asking that how we're going to defend, let alone scoring. We don't know how we're going to defend. That's the problem here. Again, I think so it has to be if you want this thing to be sorted now in mid-season, I think so it has to start from the back. Maybe the defense has to be rigid. Maybe in the
We
upcoming
have
games,
to. We have to.
maybe in the upcoming games, Miz,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but a nil-nil might be a better result. to get the momentum back, the
Yeah,
defensive momentum back. Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
100%.
Regardless of how many we score, regardless of how many attacks we make, but a clean sheet from our end might be the biggest boost because
We
that's
have
how
to get
we
back
at least
to
not gonna lose.
we have to get back to basics, Ishan. We have to get back to basics.
Exactly. And as far as the Real Madrid tie is concerned, I think so. I think that so we're out. I think so we're out of that. Two goals at Bernabeu. I think
I
so we're
mean,
out.
two goals. I wish it was just one. Two is very difficult, but we'll talk about that down the track. Let me just
Yeah.
quickly take care of some of these super chats, and then I want to ask you a couple of other questions. Valan, thank you once again for the super chat, my man. I don't get why Lewis Hall can't be utilized. I mean, this is a genuine question. Is it because he's too young that we don't want to give that type of a pressure? Is it because he's just not experienced? I suppose. I mean, Ishan, Thomas Tuchel is using Aspilicueta in left wing back in Big 2022.
Yeah.
In Big 2022, Aspilicueta is getting used in left wing back, which tells you a few things. One, he doesn't really trust anyone in that left side. He doesn't trust Alonso. He definitely does not trust Kennedy because the man has not even played anything. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't trust Sarr as well. And I think he wants to somehow fit in his captain, which is Aspilicueta. But Aspilicueta, maybe 5 6 seasons ago when he was doing that particular role, perhaps then, but now in a demanding modern era with fullbacks, wingbacks, you need a lot more. I mean, Ishan, why not Lewis Hall, bro? Why not Lewis Hall?
Yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe it's the same reason that you said. Maybe Lewis Hall has been participating for Chelsea in few games here and there in the League Cup that we saw, but maybe Thomas Tuchel feels that he's still not yet, fully nourished for the Premier League ties. I think so. It'll be too much for him, maybe, and that's the reason, which might be fair at one sense. Uh, and maybe with one sense he might have thought that Aspilicueta had played in that left wing back role, earlier in his career, so that might make do the trick. But then the ideology just derailed, and you'd remember the moment I saw the lineup, I told you that Aspilicueta and the left wing back is the most awkward decision that I felt, because regardless of how much you play
Yeah.
in that role, you've not played in that particular position for years now,
For
and you're
years. For years. I don't think he's even played left wing back. He played left back.
no, no, 100%. And it's more like, you know even if you played for a few games here and there, in this season that would have made sense. But you've not played that for years now, you know, and out of nowhere you being put, and that too in which game? In a freaking Champions League quarterfinals against Real Madrid. That's something which
It's
just,
mad. It's
does not
mad.
feel justified. You know what I mean? Even if that decision was maybe against, let's say, maybe an upcoming FA Cup game, or maybe previously FA Cup games, or Carabao Cup games, that would have somewhat, made sense. That all right, you're trying and testing out things. We don't have a left back. We might have a Reece James ready on the right hand side, but no left back. So let's play Aspilicueta in. But now, when is the peak time of every game is like a final, you're playing and you're trying and testing out and experimenting Aspilicueta on the left hand side. That did not make sense to me, miss. And I think so. That's where we conceded the second goal. By the way, to be very very honest, Aspilicueta couldn't track back, and I thought,
Even the first goal, even the first goal, it all started from there, and then they did the switch play to
right,
Vinicius. It all started from the right side first. I mean, Ishan, are you surprised that what was the point of bringing Kennedy?
yeah. What was that? I mean, I really don't know. Maybe there was some personal issues going on back in the back from the back end. But why not be totally clear with Kennedy that no, he's here for personal reasons. It's like we've been giving hopes that he might be in the sort
Why
of.
didn't we give him another loan? Why didn't we send him to another loan?
Yeah, we could have given another loan, but I really don't know why we're stacking up players with loan, knowing the fact that next season the whole loan system is gonna change. You know what I mean? And I really don't know what Chelsea gonna do with so many loanies. But then, yeah, Kennedy. I knew that he was never an option, miss. I mean, how can he be right? I've not seen him play for Chelsea in Premier League for years now. I don't
For
really
years,
don't
yeah.
remember if he's ever played. So I mean, that was a fluke. But then, even if that was an option, that could have been built. Even if that was an option, you could have given him chance earlier in the season, at least when there was still Carabao Cups going on. Maybe still when there was some easy FA Cup ties going on. But now it's definitely not an option. But even if he's not an option, why play an Aspilicueta in that position where he's not even played for years now? And
Yeah.
people would come up and say that he's the most experienced player, but you know he can at least compensate. It's not easy, man. That man has been playing on the right hand side. When you change it down to the left, the whole dimension changes, the whole mindset changes. You know what I mean? Somewhat,
Yeah.
the roles and responsibilities also alters a little bit, because the set of players that you deal with on the right hand side, and I'm not talking about the opposition but the players who you have in your team, your right hand side, you might deal with different players. On the left hand side, you might deal with different players. So that also adds a lot on the role and responsibility of you as a left wing back. That has changed
Mm.
for Aspilicueta. And if you're changing that in the night of Champions League for the first time against Real Madrid, no, that
It's
that was a
mad.
huge gamble. Yeah.
Valen, thank you so much for the super chat again. Honestly, what's the excuse not using Lewis Hall? He's been training for a while, so he's familiar with the tactics. We are giving others chance. Let him look. I remember when I saw Lewis Hall the first time, FA Cup or Carabao Cup, one of those ones. I was like, wow, this kid is good. And I remember Ishan saying, this kid is very good. Lewis Hall is a very, very good, talented youngster. I don't know why we just didn't roll the dice. I mean, what could we have lost? How much poorer could Lewis Hall be than Alonso? How much poorer could he be than Aspie on that side? At least you would know with Lewis Hall, you're going to get someone who's going to be able to sprint, who's going to be able to run. We literally have no pace on that left side. So for me, and this is why I've been a little bit critical about Thomas Tuchel, that I don't know if he took the chances. I don't know if he was bold enough to took some of the chances. Like he's gone with Alonso, hoping that he was going to be able to do something. But we know what the history says with Alonso. And we've now gone with
Yeah.
Aspilicueta on the left side when, as Ishan said, the man hasn't played that side for years. Hell, he struggles to play on the right, let alone left. And then if you're not even going to use someone like Kennedy, then use Hall. Use him. You're not even going to use Saar, but it is what it is. K Armin TV, thank you so much for the super chat. Off topic, I know it's an away game, but if Liv can make a comeback, then Chelsea can too in the Bernabeu. Strong mentality and always believe it's not over. I've said it in this particular stream already today. If we can at least get back to how we used to defend, which was solid defense, press well, be aggressive in tackling, be tight on them, we're at least good enough to score one, maybe squeeze a two. If we can keep a clean sheet, this is the same Real Madrid team we beat last season. Yes, this season Vinicius is a different monster. I get that. Benzema was kept quiet last season. But if we're going to let Benzema just roam around free, Modric roam around free, Toni Kroos roam around free, we're going to get done. Do you know what I mean? We can do it, but we need to start showing that quality against Southampton. We need to snap out very, very quickly. Valen, thank you again for the super chat. Saying that can't play in big games is BS. Look at Livramento, Broha, Gihi, etc. All young and fitting in with issues. It's not even peak Madrid. I'm with you. I'm with you, Valen. I'm with you. We don't seem to rate our youngsters like some of our rival teams. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the opposition teams in the Premier League, they rate our youngsters a lot more. And I feel like if you don't have Chilwell and you're not satisfied with any of your options that's available, let a youngster come in. It wasn't like we were going to win the Premier League anyway. So, and then he could have got the experience, and maybe who knows? Maybe you find yourself a gem. But that's I suppose my perspective on that. Ishan, I want to now talk about this Southampton game. Ishan, I'm actually worried if we don't win this,
Yeah.
it can get peak because the two losses that we copped, big losses. We got Bernabeu straight after Southampton. We've got Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid, second leg. We're 3-1 down. We don't win this, even if it's a draw, I think that's a negative result for us.
Yeah.
If we don't win this and go to Bernabeu with some confidence, we could possibly look at no wins in 4 games. And I think at that point, it could be very dangerous for Thomas Tuchel. I'm not saying he's going to get sacked because right now there is no owners. I don't even know if he's going to get sacked, if anyone can get sacked. But I feel like all of the issues that Thomas Tuchel has gone through this season, and now he has personal issues as well in terms of his marriage. He's going through a divorce. I'm worried that he might just walk. He might just say, "This is too much to, like I don't. My mental health doesn't need all this stuff." Do you know what I mean? Like, Ishan, we have to win this. There is no two ways. Like, there is no draw or loss option. It's a win. It's a must win, right?
Yes, it is a must win. It is 100% a must win. No two ways about it. But the thing here is, Miz, the problems that we are in, technically, I think so, are those kind of problems where need games to settle in. Do you know what I mean? Are those games where you actually need to maybe come back with like I said, Miss, just few moments ago, that maybe you come back with at least a clean sheet. Maybe a 0-0 also might be a boost to the defenders, because if we're a team where we pride ourselves calling us a defensive team, being rigid in defense and not conceding goals, where we've been very good for the first initial games in the Premier League. Now we've just derailed that. To come back to that sequence, to come back to that sort of composition, we'll have to have some games to maybe not attack, go all out attack and try to get goals, but maybe just settle our defense and
But can we afford to take our time again? Because top 4 is, we don't want to get into a top 4 race either. I mean, we're
That's
looking
the
like we're going to get
interesting
knocked
part,
out
right?
from Champions League. We don't want top 4 to be in jeopardy as well, right?
That's the most interesting part, Miss, because we're in a phase where there's no freaking time to do all this BS, right?
We don't.
We're there to freaking win every single game,
Yeah.
right? No sort of 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, none of that. We go out there to win stuff. That's it. No question asked. Now, a tricky spanner here is Southampton being the team that they are with Hassan Hutel. I mean, the way they press relentlessly, the natural gegen pressing come in, maybe not the level of Liverpool, but then still there is a gegen pressing there. The worst part is Real Madrid in our last game, they weren't even pressing. They weren't even pressing. We were the ones who were just providing them with all the errors.
All the space. We just gave them every space.
We gave them all the space. We gave them all the errors. You know what I mean? And it was just us who constructed our whole demise.
We facilitated their win. We said, how do you want to win? We will help you with that.
Exactly, right? And that's the worst part, Miss, because Madrid didn't even press, but still they got 3 past us. I can't imagine how we're going to go through Southampton where they're going to press us relentlessly. If we are making mistakes without even getting pressed 100%, I really don't know how we're going to.
And they're one of the teams that are so good at pressing, Ishan. They're so good at pressing.
Exactly. Not just blindly pressing like that, but they also have their man markings right, and that's where things can get dangerous. And also a team like Southampton, they pull off victories out of nowhere sometimes. They go out in Etihad, win stuff. Go out in Anfield, win matches. They are those kind of team. You can never predict when you play a Southampton. So it's going to be difficult, man. And the most difficult thing is we're poor in defending now. So they might be licking their tongues at this point of time. They might be drooling and they might be saying that, listen, we can get 3-4 past these guys, and that's the worst part. Because why? We really don't know how to react at this match. I don't know how good we're going to be in defensively. We don't have breathing space. The next match, the right next match to it is the Bernabeu match.
And
And
that's the thing,
we really
Ishan.
don't have time. Yeah.
Do you rotate in this match because there's the Bernabeu? Like, what do you do? I mean, now this a serious question, Ishan. Serious. First of all, let's take care of some of these super chats, and then let's get into the serious question next up. Ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to well over 100. We've got 110 people live right now. Let's get those likes up. We're gonna have some serious conversation. Valen, thank you once again for the super chat. If TT walks, wouldn't surprise me. Check interim. Oh my God, can you imagine? Like peak days, check as interim coach. Oh,
Oh
no,
my days.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. Digital Film Reviews, thank you so much, my man, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Our previous UCL matches have always been KG affairs. TT played too open in the Madrid game and played into their hands. I don't even know if we played too open. It's just the fact that our players weren't close enough to the Real Madrid players. They're just lazy, not focused, and lethargic. I don't know why, because that's not how we play. That simply isn't how we play. One thing we do is we defend well. We don't attack well, we defend well. And right now, we're not even defending well. K Arman TV, thank you so much for the super chat once again. Much appreciated. Without Benzema, Real Madrid lost at home to Barcelona 4-0. Maybe with him, Chelsea could win 2-0. Key is to get the first goal. Current form, Havertz is better than ever. Look, Ishan and I, we watched that match Barcelona played against Real Madrid. It wasn't about Benzema not playing. It was about the way Barcelona blew them apart in terms of passing. Their passing was superior. The way they opened up Real Madrid was like insane. It was a strip show. Real Madrid literally stripped. It was unbelievable. We don't have that level of passes, and we'll talk about all of that very, very soon. Himanshu, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. I've seen a lot of people saying tie isn't over because of no away goals rule, but I'm sorry to say it is a max we can get in Bernabeu. It's like 2-1 victory. Yeah, man. I mean, look, if mad things have happened, I'm still not ruling it out. I'm still trying to be positive that we can do something, but we'll see. We'll see. It is long odds. Ishan, off the back of that Real Madrid game, with so many players playing poorly, do you now go into this Southampton game knowing there is that second leg to play in very short time? Do you say to some players, you know what? You're benched. You're benched. You're benched. Punishment for you guys because you're not listening. You put up a crap performance against Brentford. You put up a crap performance against Real Madrid. So you're off. Or do you sort of get worried that if I do this already, Ishan, remember, after the Real Madrid game, Thomas Tuchel post-match, he was very aggressive, very furious, very angry. He said, if we play like this, forget about Bernabeu. We'll lose to Southampton. We'll lose to Southampton and then forget about the Bernabeu. And he pretty much called out the entire team. You're not pressing well. You're not closing down players. You're not tackling aggressively. I mean, Ishan, how do you back the same players against Southampton, or do you use a different flavor here and possibly risk upsetting few players?
Yes, I think so. The players who we might think that might help in rotating are those players who don't even put up an effort that the existing players are putting. You know what I mean? Who do you want to replace? Kai Havertz, you're definitely not replacing him with Lukaku. Kai
Well,
Havertz
Lukaku's
probably
injured, by the way. Lukaku's injured, so
yeah. So
yes,
Lukaku's
he's
injured,
not going
not
to
even
play.
a question. Maybe even Ziyech is a question mark.
Ziyech is in question mark as well. I don't think Ziyech will play either.
Yeah. So first up, we don't have that bench strength that we are likely to have or expected to have, maybe at least as an option. But who do you even rest? Because our prime players are giving it away lately. We see Rudiger making mistakes. Did we imagine Rudiger make mistakes? No, but even he's
No.
doing that. Thiago Silva's sort of going out of position. Christensen's having bad games after bad games. Reece James is looking off color since he came back from injury, the latest injury, by the way. Aspilicueta did not look good. The last game, definitely one of his worst games in this tournament. I mean, in this season, we don't have any options, Miz. That's the worst part. We don't have any options, and even if you think from that perspective, where, all right, listen, it's Southampton, we might bench, but in a Burnabout, that is a more important game. Probably we're lagging 3-1 behind. We might need to put up 100% there. Let's rest. Who do you bring? We don't have any options, right? So
You can't even
regardless,
rely on Timo Werner. You can't even say, I'm going to play Timo Werner. Like,
exactly, right? That's what I said. I mean, even the players that we have on the bench are not justifying the role that they're going to play once they are rotated. We can't say that the players that we bring in will put up a better performance than the ones who are already there, right? So
yeah,
that's the whole dilemma here. Whichever ways you want to twist it and turn it and try to rotate your squad, it's not justifying the scenario. We need to play our best squad, whoever is playing, but even our best squad is not performing.
is not
That's
performing.
the
Yeah.
worst part.
Yeah, it's peak, man. It's peak. You're right. Forget about who you're going to be able to rotate. Our main team is not performing, and I would have to say, you'd have to play a strong team against Southampton. You have to win that, and then you have to play a strong team against Real Madrid. It's peak. There is no scope for rotation. We would have to go with the strongest team available, and now on top of that, Lukaku's injured. Ziyech is injured, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, ladies and gentlemen, Callum Hudson-Odoi could be out for weeks. This is what Thomas Tuchel is saying. God knows what has happened to him, and I don't know whether he comes back this particular season. And there's a question mark on that particular player's future. Does he stay at Chelsea because this season has been lackluster, and now he's injured, which is makes this whole scenario very, very strange, I suppose. Ishan, before we get into the team selection, I want to talk about a couple of areas. The live chat touched on our midfield issue. I feel like, Ishan, the last couple of games, Brentford and Real Madrid, our midfield has looked so open, Ishan, man. It's looked so open. And I was just saying to the live chat, none of the combination, whether it's Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, Jorginho, Kante, it doesn't seem like a full package to me. Like, they have good attributes, but it's not like a complete pivot. Like, something is always lacking. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Kante bombs up, and if it's Jorginho, then Jorginho is isolated and he cannot handle physically. He can't run, he can't track back. But if Jorginho doesn't play, then our build-up looks a bit strange. If Kovacic plays, then yeah, we can drive. He's more progressive. But then Kovacic, he needs a good partner. Who's his partner? Kante is not the balanced partner for Kovacic. And Jorginho, Kovacic will have to do a lot more defending. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Ishan?
Yeah, 100%. I agree that. And I think so. The attributes that these three individuals have, I think so. We knew this right from the beginning, that all the three midfielders, the double pivots that we usually rotate, have their own unique attributes. And Thomas Tuchel used these three rotated in a way that it actually complemented and opposed the way the opposition played. You know what I mean? The selection was the selection came down into the way that our opposition played. If we had a opposition playing a high line, maybe we had a Jorginho and a Kante, who could be better in ball retraction, and then Kante could be the one bombing forward, where Jorginho would be the one just holding the as a register. But if it was an opposition who would not come at us with that amount of highline, we might have a Kovacic and Kante. Do you know what I mean? So this is the way we were trying to rotate, according to the opposition that we were about to play.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how we played well. The last season as well, this season, until and unless things started getting shaky. I think so. The point is, these individuals now, be it Kante, be it Jorginho, be it Kovacic, to some extent, are not delivering to their own power's maximum potential, their own abilities' maximum potential.
Yeah.
And that's where I believe the lacklusterness is coming through. When you
Yeah.
talk about Jorginho being a regista, his role is to actually ease the pressure, pass ball with take the possession from a highly
Bro, did you see
possessed
the clip
area.
of Jorginho that's going around in social media where he wins the ball against Real Madrid deep and then he's like just jogging? And then when he delivers the pass goes out?
Yeah, exactly, right. So if you do something which is according to your power, if you do it your best, then it's fine. Now we're in a situation is that, like you said, we don't have any midfielders who have all the attributes to fill it as a double pivot, right? Be it Kovacic, be it Jorginho, be it Kante. So we need any of the combination that we play. We need both of these players at their best peak, and that's how we
Spot
actually
on.
dominate in the midfield. But when you see a Kante not doing the interceptions that he usually does, not run down up and down the pitch, when you see Kovacic not bombing forward, not utilize gaps, when you see Jorginho, succumbing under pressure, becoming nervous, with not that great passing accuracy, when
Mm,
their strengths become their weakness, it's a problem for the whole team, and that's
so
exactly
true.
where we are in this situation. These players are not playing according to their own strength. We're not demanding anything. We're not saying Kante to shoot from 30 yard, 40
Mhm.
yard. We're not saying Kovacic to shoot from 30 yard. We're not saying Jorginho to dribble past 5, 6 players and shoot. We're not demanding these stuffs. We are just saying that whatever attributes that you have at your best, perform at your best. That's the only thing we demand, and that's how our midfield looks good. As simple as that. You're not doing that. We're not good at the moment. As simple as that from my side.
Well said, Ishan, man. It's so true. I think this is what Thomas Tuchel has been demanding as well, Ishan, that you're not playing to your standard. You're not playing at the moment to your level. Whatever you're good at, you need to execute that to the best ability. And right now, you're not doing that. And that in itself is become our weakness. As you said, when your strengths have now become our weakness, which is mad. At least if you are playing to your potential level, then we are a chance. But because you're not, we are now crumbling. Valan, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciate, Valan, man. You've been absolutely pumping the super chats. Something is wrong with Jorginho. He's hired a therapist. Georgie is the main guy that complements the other two. If something wrong with him, issue rests. I mean, yeah, look, he's out from the World Cup as well. I think that would have hurt his, you know, confidence a lot. So there is something deeper wrong. When a particular player looks to hire a therapist, you know there is something extremely wrong with the whole situation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the predicted lineup now. Please smash the like button, get the likes up to 100 immediately. We got 130 people live right now. Let's get those likes up to 100. We are going to talk about the team selection, which is going to be very, very interesting right now. Okay, let's get straight into it. Make sure you smash the like button whilst you're at it. Okay, Ishan, first of all, continue with three at the back because for me, I feel like right now this is what we know. I know as much as I want the four to happen because we don't have any wing backs, or well, now we got Reece James back, but the left side is an issue. I would prefer us to play 4-2-3-1, but I know that's not going to happen. And since the entire team is more accustomed to three at the back for a very, very long time under Thomas Tuchel, let's continue. That's my feelings. I mean, do you keep the three at the back or do you switch to four?
I think so. Keep a three at the back. I really don't know, and I'm not really confident of any sort of experiment at this stage. You know what I mean? We've tried with
Yeah.
an experiment with Aspilicueta at the left wing back, failed miserably. I don't want out of a sudden where things look so shaky, try back four and then maybe derail even more than the situation we are at this point of time. So yeah, go with the back three, man.
All right. First conversation. Goalkeeper. For me,
All right,
Mendy
so
is still number one.
we're having a conversation here, despite of I mean after that fumble, we're coming to a state where we want to have a conversation. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I know. But for me, Ishan, I know Mendy has done some madness, but at the same time, he's the number one Chelsea goalkeeper. He's been phenomenal as well. We don't have to look too back far. Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, Mendy kept us in. If it wasn't for his unbelievable saves, we would have been in trouble. But I cannot deny the fact that he's been dodgy. He has been dodgy
Yes.
sometimes this season, every now and then. And even Thomas Tuchel said in the press conference, it wasn't as if Mendy didn't have mistakes last season. He had mistakes last season as well. This season, as you remember, Ishan, West Ham game when we covered it together, he was so crazy in that game. Um,
Mm.
Recently, as I can recall, Brentford, he wasn't. He was very shaky that game as well, and obviously Real Madrid a blunder. I mean, do you just drop him for the sake of giving him some mental break, and Kepa comes in and just gives a bit of a fresh outlook, or do you say, Mendy, go out there and just find confidence? Like, I'm not going to drop you immediately. You are Chelsea number one. How are you looking at this?
No, I think so. I would go with Mendy, man. I believe he's our number one, just like you said. The second option, maybe that the one which you mentioned, is
Yeah.
go and get your confidence back. We know the fact that he somewhere down the line there goes one game here and there where he drops a bomber like that, out of nowhere. But then, he's cannot deny the fact that he's our number one. He's one of still, I would say, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and you can't deny that fact. It's just that he needs to find confidence when the whole team's atmosphere is under pressure. Even the goalkeeper succumbs under pressure, and that's exactly what was displayed in the game against Real Madrid. So, no, for me, it's Mendy.
Yeah, for me, it's Mendy as well. I'd play Kepa, then I realized they have James Ward-Prowse, long shots galore. Um, yeah, that's what worries me. A few people have been saying, Miz, check Matt Law, check PYS. I have, man. I mean, it's not anything interesting. The news, it's old news. Yeah, we know. Like, let me just have a quick read of it. 4 hours ago, or are you talking about something recently? 4 hours ago was, as reported in the US, billionaire Mark Walter has joined top Bowley-led bid to buy Chelsea. Walter and Bowley already run the LA Dodgers baseball team. Yeah, I knew this. I knew this. Top Bowley is getting LA Dodgers, the primary shareholder of LA Dodgers, to come in and join. So it is what it is. Yeah, this is the one that's up. Matt Law, there are concerns within the squad over the futures of players' contracts, transfer targets, and even Chelsea's wage. But see this news from Matt Law, Ishan, is this new news? We know this. There's concerns over the squad, over their future of the players' contracts, transfer. We know this. There is
Yeah,
concerns. We don't have owners at the moment. We know
exactly.
Rudiger's situation is a concern in terms of player contracts. We know the salary is concerns for a few of the players.
Yeah.
We know some of the futures of, so like, for me, this is not even a news.
Yeah, what's new? There's nothing new in it.
Seriously,
It's
there's
nothing new.
literally
We
nothing
knew
new.
everything. Yeah, we knew every single part of it. I mean, why?
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next phase. I know Rudiger's made some mistakes, but I can't drop him. Like he has to play. He's been predominantly really good. Obviously, a couple of games. I'm not gonna be dropping him for that. For me, Rudiger starts. Let me do the back three, and then you let me know if you agree with that. I would actually give Silva a break here because I feel like he has been playing quite a bit. I would give Silva a break here, and I would actually put AC here, and I'm actually going to bring back Chalaba. Thoughts?
I would have done this exact thing if we were in a better position against Madrid, but I think so. Maybe Silva needs to start miss because the opposition that we're going to face is going to press us more than what we're going to get pressed by Madrid and Bernabeu, right? So I think so. In that case, AC is the one who's been slipping out the most.
Hmm.
Chalaba definitely needs to start, but I would go with Silva maybe.
I think the live chat agrees with you as well that
Yeah.
Christensen's uh, probably not to be starting here. I mean, Ishan, has Christensen just clocked off? Like knowing that he's signed for Barcelona?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. Definitely, he looks like he's out of focus, man. He's just lost it. You know. and definitely there is some sort of signs that he's showing that maybe he's done what he's done, and maybe you might not see him improve anymore. As far as him playing for this season is concerned, you might see few games here and there, but I think so. Just because things are done there at the back end with him and Barcelona, it's just maybe that he's not 100% there. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And that could be true. Kobina here saying AC don't want to get injured, and then 100% could be true. Valen with the super chat once again. Thank you so much, Valen. Bowley and Ricketts have come over to watch Chelsea, and both times we've lost. Looks like bad luck for both. PS Rudiger probably off to Juventus. I mean, Rudiger's time is now literally in red zone. Like we have just 2 months left. How we get this sorted, I'm not sure. I'm hoping we can get it sorted. Whoever the new owners are can come in and get that done and dusted, or potential new owner, whoever, maybe someone already knows that they're going to be owning Chelsea. Hopefully, they're already having the conversation with Rudiger, and as soon as the whole transaction completes, they can just get Rudiger's situation sorted. I'm hoping that's what's happening in the background, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rudiger leaves as well. Okay, Reece James for me has to start. He needs to find form and he needs to start as well. And he needs to get a good game under his belt so that he can absolutely be on top of his game against Real Madrid. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. And we don't have options either. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he's not been good. He's not been good at all. It seems like you know the last game especially he was out of focus totally, and he needs to pick up really quick because we need him, man. That's the biggest thing. We
We
need
need him
Reece
to
James.
score goals and assist. we
Yeah,
need him
because Reece
attacking
James
him.
is one of the man, just like the position and the aura that Kante holds in our team. Reece James is another man who, if plays good, the whole team plays good, and that's the power that Reece James holds, and maybe we need him this time around the most.
Yep, I have to agree. Oh my God. You talk to me, bro. You talk to me about this position because I'm lost. I don't know who to choose anymore.
By the way, why was Alonso rested? Oh, is he injured or something, or what?
No, I guess
Or
just not
just a
trusted.
tactical?
Just
Then
not
maybe
trusted.
I will go with Alonso because I really don't know who else should we keep. Sar another option, but really, come on. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll go with
Saul, is
Alonso then.
Saul an option, bro? Is Saul an option?
Saul might be an option, but if you're predicting, I can't predict that Saul would start. It's more like that. I think so. I don't think so. Thomas Tuchel would, sort of take that gamble. He should have taken it uh, maybe few games ago, maybe few weeks ago. But then maybe there's some sort of communication miss that even Saul might not enjoy that left wing back role because that's the
Mm,
reason why he wanted to leave Atletico Madrid as well, right?
yeah.
So maybe there's some that sort of angle to it. But yeah, I think so. I'll go with Marcus
I mean,
Alonso.
the most natural selection is Alonso, and even that, we are so reluctant to pick Alonso, but he's the most natural one. He's the only one that's actually a left wing back. No one else is a left wing back by default, I guess, again. But whether this happens, I don't know. Maybe it will because he didn't play against Real Madrid. And I definitely don't want to see Aspilicueta there. I really, really don't want to see Aspilicueta there. Okay, double pivot time. Kovacic has to start. Ishan, Kovacic has to start. I don't care. He didn't start against Brentford. He didn't start against Real Madrid. It's mad. For me, Kovacic starts. Why do you think Ishan Kovacic didn't start against Brentford and Real Madrid?
This is mad. I really don't know, man. He definitely should have started at least one game. I'm not sure what happened. Is something wrong there? Because it's quite unnatural Kovacic not starting, whereas he's been one
He's
of
our
the
best.
best players for us.
He's our best midfielder. He's our best
Yeah,
midfielder.
exactly. I'm really surprised. I really don't know if something is wrong or not. But he definitely. I thought that if he's not starting against Brentford, he should have started against Madrid. That's exactly what I expected. But no, he didn't start against Madrid, and uh, this time around he should start definitely.
I agree, man. I agree. Who's his partner, man? Because I'm not very confident with either. I don't think Kante is going to start. Obviously, he's fasting as well. Thomas Tuchel talked about the fasting situation. I'm fasting. I mean, the Muslims, we're all fasting, ladies and gentlemen. And Kante has been fasting during training sessions and whatnot, and maybe that could have some sort of an impact. But Thomas Tuchel said that this isn't the first time Kante is doing that. He's done that every other season as well, where he's fasted. Um, but as you get older as well, it could start becoming a bit of an issue. I mean, I don't want to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic because then Ruben will have to be the sitter. I don't want to see Jorginho because he's been so off form. Saul, is he even in the team? I don't know. I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't know who to go with in the double pivot. Jorginho, maybe?
Definitely not Loftus Cheek. If not Kante, then we're left with two options. That is Saul or Jorginho. And I think so I somewhat agree with Mohammed. Why not give Saul a chance? You know what I mean? If Jorginho's
I don't
not
mind.
looking
I
at
don't
his
mind.
peak, and we've seen, I think so, have a reason to back to the statement that if Kovacic is going to play the way naturally he plays, Saul needs to be a regista. And in that case, I think so. We've seen Saul play in that role. You know, just lately when he was playing for quite a bit of a time in few games, we've seen Saul play as a regista role, and I thought he was doing pretty well. You know, he
Remember
was
the
doing decent.
one touch passes from Saul in that register role? He
Yeah.
was doing really well. I think Spurs, he played there. Remember against Spurs?
Yes, yes, he played that in Carabao Cup games against Spurs. He's played that, and I think so. He can do that role. So why not play a Saul? You know, you could have gambled something which makes sense rather than play Aspilicueta at the left wing back.
Yep. I'll go with Saul. I think that kind of makes sense. And just for him to do the simple things. Okay, up front, Hakim Ziyech is not going to play most likely. I wanted him to start because I'm not really happy with Mason Mount. I didn't want Mason Mount to play this game. I wanted him to be dropped because he simply hasn't been good. But with no Hakim Ziyech, with no Romelu Lukaku, with no Callum Hudson-Odoi, we're left with not really much to work with here. Um, I guess the question is, does Timo Werner start? Because if he doesn't for you, then we know what the three is going to be. Does Timo Werner start?
No, I think so. Still, Mount gets a start. I think so. He gets a start. Listen, don't get me wrong. All of our frontline players hasn't been good except Kai Havertz. No one has been good for the past couple of games, and Mount hasn't been good. Pulisic hasn't been good. One and I don't remember when he was good ever. So I don't know whom the option is gonna be. But I think so. Mount is more of a sort of a natural selection just because of his off the ball work rate. But the thing here is the other side, Pulisic also did not look good. You know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean?
wasn't good.
So so if you're saying that you would want to play Werner, maybe he gets a start ahead of Pulisic. That's one of the options, just like Declan and Ireland says. So that's an option. But then I would still go with Pulisic, Mount, and Kai.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd be going on with as well. Pulisic, Mount, and Kai. Even though I would have dropped Mount for this game for Ziyech. Yes, Pulisic hasn't been great as well, but at least Pulisic in the last few games before Real Madrid, there was some sort of consistency. He was scoring, there was some assists, but the work rate was good as well. Overall game was good, not just the goals and assists. Mount, yeah, there's been the odd goal and some assist as well, but his overall game has not been there. That was my issue with Mason Mount. Havertz has only been, he's the only one that's been supreme for us. But with no options, with no Lukaku, no Ziyech, no Callum Hudson-Odoi. Timo Werner is out of favour. By default, once again, these three will have to start. And look, when you think about it, this three generally has worked. So let's see if they can do the trick. Maybe they can snap out of it, and maybe they can get some momentum and move it into Real Madrid. Valen, thank you so much for the super chat. 433 Mendy, RJ, Silva, Rudy, Sa, Trevor, CDM, Kovacic, Saul. Oh man, I love what you're thinking. It ain't never happening. This Thomas Tuchel is never ever doing that. I love it, but it will. He honestly, I would be very surprised if Thomas Tuchel goes to a 4-3-3 with this particular lineup. Even though, yeah, theoretically it makes sense. Ishan, how do you feel about this team? Do you think this team can score against Southampton?
I really don't know how to answer that question. I really don't know how we're gonna score. This is the worst part at this point of time. But what I can at least expect is us to gain some momentum when it comes to defensive abilities. You know what I mean? At least try not to concede. That might be one of the prime focus for us in the upcoming game. Or else, when you talk about scoring, I still don't have an answer for that. I really don't know how we're gonna score. At least maybe, just like few journalists were asking Thomas Tuchel in the interview as well, that Southampton is going to be the team who's going to come at us with a high line. So maybe
Yeah.
there's a chance where we might be comfortable uh, in absorbing the pressure and then launch a transition or a counter attack. But then I still don't know. With our attackers lackluster and our defense as well a little bit startled, I really don't know how we're gonna score.
Bro, look at this super chat.
Yeah, Livermento versus Alonso. That's gonna be man. But then I really don't know whom I'm gonna uh, put a substitute on the word Alonso as well. We don't have any options. We saw Aspilicueta. We tried to substitute that, but it did not work. It was in fact worse. So I really don't know how we're gonna cope up with that.
Ishan, are you mad at the board at certain degree that why do we have so many players that simply don't fit for this football club? Like the standard of this football club, these players should not be around at Chelsea Football Club. And it's mad that they're still here in 2022. Are you somewhat upset with the board that maybe we could have even done without bringing anyone in summer? We definitely didn't bring anyone in the January, but at least try and get rid of few players that are not providing any value to Chelsea Football Club. Are you somewhat mad that this board has missed that trick?
In fact, miss, we're adding more. We're adding more of those players. You know what I mean? We're adding more of those players like an Alonso, who seemed like a rotational player, but you know, does not does not provide us with that sort of ability that we want him to be. We're adding more players like that. Players like a Timo Werner, who's definitely not the level that we want. You know, like a Lukaku, maybe he portrayed like a level that we wanted, but then now the way he's declined, definitely not the level that we wanted. Do you know what I mean? And like player like a Saul, like a Loftus Cheek as well. Both these players might not be that level, have not shown, given us the output that we'd say that listen, these are the guys who are gonna take care of the whole midfield or any role they play. In fact, we're adding these players, and that's what is startling me. And I think so. I hope that once everything gets sorted, the new owners come in. The maybe the whole management team is well onboarded with the whole new owner, and the whole ecosystem is rebuilt. Maybe then we start to filter out and try to refurnish the things that we have in our hand. But as things stands, miss, I really don't know how we were fooled initially that we have such a strong bench strength. We don't. In
We
fact,
don't.
it's the opposite. We might have a lot of players, but maybe none of them fits the exact quality that we want. You know what I mean?
100% I know what you mean, man. Valen, thank you so much once again for the super chat. How did Marina with best DOF mad thing? Um, yeah, I guess are you trying to say that how did she do without a DOF or how did she act as a DOF? Yeah, look, Marina for me is not she's not the footballing mind of character. She's financially does well. There's been some really strange deals as well, but she's not like a from a footballing thought process side of things. Like She's not someone who, oh, okay, let me talk about philosophy. Let me talk about how you're going to attack your opposition. And then on that basis, we'll get the players that are needed. So she definitely needed help in that manner. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the team that we've gone with. That's the predicted lineup. Ishan and I have gone with Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Chalaba, Alonso, Reece James, Saul, Kovacic, Pulisic, Havertz, Mason Mount up front. I've seen a couple of comments saying, has Mason Mount starting by default? Because Ziyech is most likely injured. Lukaku's injured. Kalamatsanadoi is injured. And we don't seem to trust Timo Werner. So that's that. Ishan, score prediction, and yeah, if we lose, what's the go?
I don't know. I'm really scared to make a score prediction at this stage. I really don't know what to say about this. Uh, it's gonna be a tough game. Every game is a freaking tough game. I really don't remember the last time I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a walk in the park." Absolutely not, man. Uh, every game is like a tough game to us, and now, especially now in this season,
Wow,
every game is
Valent's
like a
gone for
final.
3-1 Southampton.
Look at that. That's how our confidence is shattered, and you can't disregard that, because that's exactly how we're portraying ourselves. This is how we're playing lately, so you can't disregard that. But yeah, I'm scared, man. I think so. We're gonna draw a 1-1. I think so. It's gonna be a 1-1.
I don't think that's a good result, man. I really don't think that's a good result. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to predict it either. Like I want to predict a win, but I, I don't know how we attack. All our goals seem to be from a very random behavior. It's not because we thought that out. It comes through a randomness. Like you look at some of the other teams when they attack, it's not random. Like they actually have a plan as to how they want to open you up. Our attack is weird. That's why we rely a lot on defense, our defenders to score, wing backs to score. So look, I need a clean sheet. And then after that, if we can get a 1-0, 2-0, I'll take it. That'll be my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. 1 or 2-0. I need a clean sheet, number one. I need us to start defending well. That's the biggest thing for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you so much to each and every one of you guys that has commented, super chats, whatnot, everything. Much love to you guys and the support you show. Please smash the like button before you go. Only 11 more likes away from 100 likes for the stream. So please make sure you do that. One final super chat before we go. Thank you once again, Valen. When we concede, the floodgates open. No way we concede only one goal if we concede. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I need to keep a clean sheet. I definitely need to keep a clean sheet. My man, Jonathan, man, need a win tomorrow, but with one eye on Tuesday. Yeah, well, I don't even think we should keep a one eye on Tuesday. We have to just win tomorrow. Then we have full eyes on Tuesday after that. Because we keep one eye over there, one eye in Southampton. I'll tell you right now, you're going to have no eyes at the end of both the matches.
Yeah,
So
now it's like both eyes are like no eyes. Even if you give both eyes, we're not seeing anything.
exactly. Corey, thank you so much, my man. Kobina, thank you so much. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Until next time, see ya and take care.